look around at modern day coaching, maybe compared to the coach of, I don't know, the 70s or the 80s, where you have this image of maybe Bobby Knight, who's a phenomenal coach, but yelling and screaming and throwing things and everything else, Nowadays you don't see that as much, though they're passionate. You might see someone like Popovich, for example, at the Spurs, is probably the most highly respected coach in the NBA, and he doesn't really do a whole lot of yelling. He's more of a doesn't talk that much at all to the media, which is fantastic in its own way. But he's a listener. He's a mentor. I think Steve Kerr's had a lot of success with the Warriors, and having known Steve, he's just that guy. He's a genuine coach because he cares about his players and their outcomes and how he can put it all together. And at the end of the day, that's all we're doing as a clinician, as a therapist, is really coaching our clients in front of us. And what is it that you want to do? And then how can we help you? How can we help you achieve that? Because to Russ's point, we know how the body works and we know how it functions, and that's all great and everything. But what do you want to do with it? Where do you want to take it? So it's kind of cool. And just as you think about what we look for, what we recruit in our process, or what we want to develop in our process, those are really, really impactful components. And actually, the idea of coaching is something we really put our therapists through as much as possible early on, and put them in front of a group of people, put them in front of a team, and ask them to coach that team, because it's such a communication effort, and it's also an effort of not only if you can reach 10 people, then working one-on-one should be quite easy for you. And then 2, if you can watch 10 people move and start to analyze their movement and see them, then the speed at which you acquire information and can see movement and evaluate it actually goes up tremendously as well. So,
and nothing will sharpen your communication skills more than talking to a group of people, because you say the same thing to 30 people and you're going to get some varying responses, and then you start to really sharpen how you cue things from an exercise standpoint, or how you say things from a teaching standpoint, so that you can get the best global response possible. So you really kind of sharpen your sword from how you coach movement or how you speak to people.
I think the coaching piece as a young therapist, or any therapist, you could be in it for 30 years. If you've never coached before, it'll be a great experience for you. But that was one of the greatest things that I did right out of the gate. Was I joined one of our strategic partners, or our gym owners in El Dorado Hills, Vince Minnie with Minnie's House of Pain, and he's one of the best coaches that can connect with people at a really deep level. And one of the things that I learned from him right out of the gate was Aaron, you need to touch every single person that comes in the gym. Not literally touch them sometimes if that's what they respond to, but you need to say at least hi to every single person and use their name. You need to ask them about their day. You need to ask them about their family. You need to somehow connect with every single person, and it's going to change based on their personality. It's going to change on what motivates them. And when you can do that, then you build trust. And then, much like another great coach that's out there, Brett Bartholomew, he's said multiple times in the art of coaching, it's less about the program. It's 100% less about the program. It's more about, can you influence the person to do the things you know they need to do to make the change? And that's going to be such a wide variety of strategies, but it always starts in both of those scenarios with committing to diving deep and connecting with people.
And that connection, we spoke of the word passion in the beginning of this, and passion is kind of hard. It can be a little misled. And I love when we interview upcoming therapists and asking, what did you do when you were younger, before grad school, even during undergrad or during high school? And if we find out they were coaching, yes, that means you took the thing you love, and say it was baseball or soccer, and then you decided to influence younger people than you by 5, 6, 7 years. And that's an act of passion. You're not really probably doing it for the money. You're doing it because you love it so much that you want to teach, and you want to use what you are so wonderful at because you care that much about it, and you're influencing people. So you get kind of a 2-for-1. You show the world how passionate you are by living it and teaching it. And by teaching it, you learn the external cues to use to the masses. You see a lot of people move at once, and you get a lot of skill sets that are really awesome. And I think some of our better therapists, all of our therapists are awesome, but the ones that really have gravitated really quite quickly have a pretty vast coaching experience.
Yeah.